Good day, everyone. Thank you for choosing Corbel as your avenue to finish your senior high school. As Corbel tagline says, dare to challenge your destiny. Welcome to my class. Last session, I have discussed some terms to be reminded for this subject, such as religion, belief, belief systems, worldview, theology, and spirituality. For our second lesson, our topic will be all about how world religions began. This is Mrs. Rosalind S. Balafinas, LPT MAED. Let's start. For our learning objectives, at the end of this lesson, the students are expected to, first, cite regions or places where specific religions evolved. Second, analyze the culture of the region that gave rise to specific religions. Third, explain how geography influences religion and religion affects culture. Fourth, conduct a group activity that demonstrates the influence of a religion in a certain culture. The emergence of religion. The earliest evidence of spiritual belief among humans dates back to the Paleolithic period, or known as the Old Stone Age. It may be said that as communities became increasingly complex and sophisticated, moving beyond merely addressing the most basic needs of food and shelter, humans began to ponder matters of existence, being, and purpose. The philosophizing on the origins and purpose of humans, influenced by rudimentary thoughts or simple thoughts on understanding of the natural environment and its wonders. These were gradually institutionalized to become the earliest forms of belief systems. Archaeologists and anthropologists believe that the organized religion emerged due to the development and that occurred around 10,000 before Christ. This is when early humans moved from hunter-gatherer way to a more sedentary life. The Neolithic Revolution saw the emergence of agriculture as a primary source of livelihood for early humans. So the cultivation of plants and the domestication of animals led to the organization of large societies. Over centuries, human societies grow more complex and were characterized by a system of social organization, differentiated labor, increased interactions through trade and migration, the invention of writings, and the establishment of government. Let's talk about the factors that influence religion. So we have three: geographic, cultural, and social. So let's start with the geographic factor. So subject to geographic location, the religion practice in an area continues to evolve depending on the country's resources, which shows how geography can affect emergence of a belief systems. So for example, the Eskimos' hell is a place of darkness, storm, and intense cold. Maybe you're shocked, why cold? Because they are Eskimos. The weather in their place is cold, while Jews' concept of hell is a place of eternal fire. That's the concept that we know, because when we say hell, it's hot. In Egypt, there are religious writings called the pyramid texts. We are now already on the cultural diversity. So when we say cultural diversity, it played a great part in shaping religions. Why? During the Neolithic era, pre-colonial Filipinos expresses their religion through the artistic means such as carving of figurines of the deities and gods. So for example, these pyramid texts are considered the oldest writings in the world and make up the principal funerary literature of ancient Egypt. The pyramid texts are seen as an assurance that the gods will guide the soul of the departed on its journey to its eternal home. Social factors. When we say social factors, these are the factors that shape individuals' beliefs, lifestyles, and personalities. So we have the following personalities. They are known as prominent personalities that have greatly impacted their respective religions. So we have Pope John Paul II, Mother Teresa. So they are considered among the most influential personalities of the Catholic Church. We have also Martin Luther. With his reformations, uh, people views has changed, and people views has changed about Christianity. The 14th Dalai Lama is known even to non-adherents of Buddhism due to his views on numerous social issues such as religious harmony, economics, the environment, and even the gender equality. The earliest evidence of religion in early human society. So what are the evidences that before Neolithic age came, there was already an existence of religion? So who can answer it? Anthropologists. So the anthropologists label early human cultures by their implements and tools. So during the Paleolithic era, what are the common tool they use? This is the rock, the stone. The Paleolithic or Old Stone Age dates from the earliest use of stone tools some 1 million years ago to 10,000 before Christ era. So throughout this period, humans were hunters and they are fishers. They were not makers of food. They gradually learned to create and utilize tools of stones and consumable resources like logs for fuels, having learned to make and even regulate fire. So the shift from hunting and gathering to agriculture overlap with the further development of stone tool technology. In areas where agriculture and animal husbandry appeared, the population grew at an exceptional rate. So when wildlife and plants were domesticated and taken to the river valleys, the relationship between the early societies and the environment changed drastically. So humans learned to manipulate their natural environment, an important condition for the rise of civilization. So the emergence of civilization. So how did civilization emerge? So we have the following places. First, Nile River, Indus Valley, and we have also the Yellow River Basin. So these are the sites where early civilizations established towns, erected massive structures, developed stratified societies, and created systems of writing. This development occurred during the Bronze Age, a period characterized by the increased production of bronze tools and weapons. The following are some civilizations that flourished during the Bronze Age. First, first is we have Mesopotamia. The oldest Mesopotamian cities were found around 3000 before Christ era by the Sumerians. Around 2370 before Christ era, the Sumerian city-states were dominated by the Akkadian, Babylonian, and Assyrian empires. So Mesopotamian religion was not only polytheistic but also henotheistic. When we say henotheistic, certain gods were viewed as superior to others. In later periods, the Mesopotamians began ranking the deities in their order of importance. Some gods have human forms, requiring food and drink. According to J. Botero, gods were not viewed mystically. They are rather seen as high masters who were to obeyed and feared. So this is for the first civilization, Mesopotamia. So this is where the Sumerian culture was established. Second is Egypt. So Egypt, irrigated by the Nile River and sheltered by deserts, as well as the sea. Egyptian civilization remained more protected and peaceful than that of Mesopotamia at around 2700 before Christ era. So Egypt emerged as a cohesive and thriving empire. Religion greatly influenced Egyptian life. The pharaohs governed the lives and wealth of the populace and were considered gods by their subjects. The history of Egypt is divided into three main periods: the Old Kingdom, the Middle Kingdom, and the New Kingdom. Third, we have Indus Valley Civilization. At about 2300 before Christ era, approximately 70 Indus cities had developed a sophisticated urban and the major cities being known as Harappa and Mohenjo-daro. The population was governed by a stable and well-organized government led by a ruling class who had much concern for cleanliness, order, and stability. So what are the evidence? The archaeological evidence reveals that Indus culture placed much emphasis on personal hygiene because in their place, there should always be a bath area. Each house in an Indus Valley village had a bathing room with drains. So the Indus people flourished along the banks of the Indus River. They lived in brick houses, in well-planned villages, and were successful agriculturists who grew and cultivated cotton and raised buffaloes, goats, dogs, pigs, and sheep. China. The Shang dynasty established the first recognized Bronze Age civilization along the Yellow Basin or the Yellow River Basin in China. As people made progress, leaders desired superior defense forces to protect their states. So they taught civil servants to oversee the population. So prior to the establishment of more organized forms of Chinese civilization, local tribes had basic animistic worldviews. As the organization of the Chinese society became more sophisticated, people's belief system also further developed and became more complex and organized. So during the Eastern Zhao period in the 6th century before Christ era, China experiences a political turmoil and civil war. Nevertheless, this period was also significant for Chinese philosophy with the emergence of figures such as Confucius, Lao Tzu, where they become the founders of Confucianism and Taoism. So the outcome was the establishment of alliances among various minor states to form a number of large territorial units. Americas. The prominent societies in the Americas arose in the areas that had robust agriculture. So the Andes Valley contributed a mixture of agriculture and the rich marine resources from the Pacific in 1500 before Christ era. The Olmecs found the first civilization in Mesoamerica. The Olmecs were the first major civilization in Mexico. They lived in the tropical lowlands on the Gulf of Mexico in the present-day Mexican states of Veracruz and Tabasco. So around 2750 before Christ era, the first colossal structure designs appeared in the Andes region. So the distribution and spread of religions. So it is categorized into two. First is the universal religion. Second is the ethnic religion. So universal religions engage in missionary activities and admit new members through symbolic acts of commitment. When we say ethnic religion, it is limited and slow since religions do not actively seek converts. The ability to adapt to local cultures is the key to the survival and the growth of universal religions. A flourishing universal religion is able to assimilate certain aspects of ethnic religions, which therefore increases its attractiveness to new converts and promotes its long-term survival. For instance, the celebration of fiestas reflect the integration of Christian beliefs with the polytheistic and animistic belief systems of pre-colonial Philippines. Religion, culture, and society. So these are the are these three factors interconnected? What do you think? Do you think religion, culture, and society are interconnected? Well, the answer is yes. Culture touches everything from the humanities to the sciences, from the religion to technology. So it is the matrix from which values, attitudes, motivations, and skills emerge. UNESCO defines culture as the whole complex of distinctive spiritual, material, intellectual, and emotional features that characterize society or social group. It includes not only the arts and letters, but also modes of life, the fundamental rights of a human being, values, systems, traditions, and beliefs. So culture, according to De Leon, is a system of vital ideas that contain, energize, and direct virtually every aspect of social life and person's relationship. So religion can serve as not only as an identifying feature, but a binding agent. Due to the fluidity of cultural religion, it can also permeate other facets of society, even those generally not associated with religion. So it is evident in how celebrations, holidays, architecture, language, arts, music, and even literature are affected or being influenced in the Philippines. Now, to highlight some of the topics we have discussed for this lesson, since prehistoric times, there have been indications that the earliest human societies have been practicing certain spiritual beliefs. The Neolithic Revolution resulted in the development of more complex societies, and religious belief became more complex and organized. Geography, culture, and society are factors that have significantly influenced the development of religions, thus resulting in the development of a wide variety of religious beliefs since ancient times. The earliest major religions emerged in regions such as the Nile River, Indus Valley, and the Yellow River Basin in China. And each of those ancient civilizations that emerged in these regions have developed unique religions that were defined by the respective geographical, cultural, and social influences. Universal religions are those which are widely distributed and whose goal is to convert all people on earth. Ethnic religions are those that are confined to a specific geographic or cultural religion and whose spread is limited and slow. Religion, culture, and society are closely related. Always remember that one, because religion defines aspect of culture and society, which distinguishes one group of people to another. Religion is also a source of identity and defines nationhood. So again, we have our reference. Thank you for choosing Corbel. Dare to challenge your destiny. Basta humanista, tatak Corbel.